Have you ever felt trapped in your own mind? The nights when sleep refuses to come, and every shadow in your room feels alive with unseen dangers? When fear whispers every worst-case scenario that could ever touch your life? When anger bursts through like a wildfire, scattering words before you can stop them? Or when anxiety grips you, freezing your body, clouding your judgment, and leaving you imprisoned inside yourself? That storm, unseen, uninvited, strikes all of us at some point. And yet, it is not the storm itself that destroys. It is how we meet it. What if I told you that your mind, every surge of fear, every flicker of anger, every tight twist of anxiety, is not the enemy, but the teacher? The Stoics of ancient times understood this. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, they observed human emotion not as a curse to be purged, but as signals to interpret, as maps pointing toward understanding. Fear is a message. Anger is a compass. Anxiety is a signal. And if we learn their language, they stop controlling us. They become allies. Picture this, standing at the edge of a stormy sea. Waves crash violently. Most people panic, flail, get swept away. But a Stoic plants their feet, breathes, observes. The water rages, but it does not define them. Peace is not the absence of storms. Peace is the ability to remain unbroken within them. Now imagine sitting alone in a quiet room. The world outside hums with relentless noise. Your mind drifts. At first, it whispers minor concerns, unfinished tasks, forgotten appointments, small regrets. Then it crescendos into a roar, a cacophony of every error, every fear, every shadow of what might go wrong. Have you felt that? That weight of thoughts hammering on the walls of your mind, dragging you into despair? That is not weakness. That is simply an undirected mind. The Stoics said it clearly. It is not events that disturb us, but the stories we tell ourselves about them. Epictetus warned that we do not suffer because of what happens, but because of how we interpret what happens. Now imagine changing the story. Instead of rehearsing failures, you recall a warm memory, a laugh shared with a loved one, a small achievement that made you proud, the glow of a sunrise you once watched in silence. Suddenly, the noise transforms into harmony. The piano of your mind plays a new tune. The keys are the same. Your hands have changed. Happiness is never waiting outside you. It is composed from within. Seneca reminded us, true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. Joy is not hidden in applause, not stored in accolades, not waiting in the approval of strangers. It begins in thought, and thought can be trained. Imagine waking at dawn. Your first instinct, what is missing? Unanswered emails, bills unpaid, approval not earned. Already, the day bends you under invisible weights. Now pause. Breathe. What if your first thought was simply, I am alive. I have another chance. The same morning, the same room, the same sun, but now a new current flows within you. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, life is short. This sunrise may be the last. Not to scare himself, but to awaken gratitude. Very little is needed for a happy life. All begins inside. As the day unfolds, notice how the mind multiplies suffering. Fatigue presses down. Tasks remain undone. Pressure grows, not because reality changed, but because your story did. Yet look out the window. Notice the sky. Hear a bird. Peace awakens, not outside, but inside, freed by attention. Focus shapes reality. Choose wisely. Consider this. A man walks home after work, exhausted. His mind replays every mistake, every tension, every imagined failure. He arrives to his children laughing, his partner smiling, and barely notices. Presence is the gift often abandoned to thought. Stoic wisdom teaches, we must choose to notice, to receive, to live what is here. How many moments are lost to wandering minds? The mind is a warrior that requires training. We would not send a soldier into battle unarmed. Yet most of us wander daily without discipline over our thoughts. Stoics practiced mental discipline as freedom. To guide the mind is to steer a ship through rocks. Waves may rage, but you hold the wheel. When dark clouds gather in your head, ask yourself, am I striking the wrong key? If so, why not shift? Gratitude is one thought away. Courage, one breath away. Hope, one memory away. Imagine waiting in a long line, crowded, hot, frustrating. Normally, impatience flares, but a Stoic pauses, breathes, and shifts perspective. The waiting becomes training. Instead of noise, there is stillness. Instead of agitation, patience. Each moment is practice in steering the mind. Each act shapes who commands your attention, you or the storm. Emotions are tools, not enemies. Left untended, they torment. Directed intentionally, they can create joy, clarity, and strength. Picture a pianist playing a melody that uplifts the soul. That is what you can do with your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius wrote not for others, but to guide himself, to shape his mind deliberately. If an emperor could find calm amid wars and betrayal, so can you. Now step into another layer: fear, anger, anxiety. Your mind interprets, amplifies, narrates. A word, a glance, a slight, suddenly disaster. Yet the truth, reality is rarely so cruel. We suffer most from imagined stories. You can stop believing every narrative your mind creates. Pause. Whisper, this is just a thought. It has not happened. I choose not to obey it. Freedom begins in that space. Consider this example. Waiting for a message. The subject line reads, "We need to talk." Panic surges. Your imagination constructs betrayal, loss, humiliation. Hours of fear. Then the truth arrives, exciting news. The suffering was self-inflicted. Reality was never the enemy. Imagination was. Stoicism teaches, imagination can serve, not sabotage. Emotions are messengers. Anxiety alerts you to pay attention. Frustration signals something meaningful. Fear points to the unknown. Suppression intensifies. Observation and labeling. This is fear. This is frustration. Creates distance. The waves remain, but you do not drown. You become the observer, the captain of a storm. Let us take another metaphor. The mind is a garden. Left untended, weeds grow, worry, anger, regret. With attention, the soil nourishes clarity, resilience, calm. Every thought, every label, every pause is cultivation. The mind must be trained daily. It cannot be controlled with one reading or one moment of insight. Like a muscle, discipline builds over time. Picture anxiety gripping you before performance, presentation, or conversation. Previously, panic dominated. Now you pause, breathe, frame the moment differently. This is energy. My body prepares me to rise. Trembling remains, but fear loses command. The storm rages, yet you are steady. Repetition builds mastery. Daily practice transforms reaction into choice. Stoicism does not promise a life free from fear, anger, or sadness. It offers a mind that meets these companions without surrender. Premeditation of challenges, visualizing adversity, then rehearsing calm, loosens fear's grip. Perspective grows. Even if things go wrong, you survive, recover, continue. You become the anchor in chaos. Step back. Observe. Ask, is this the event or the story about the event? Step further. Name your emotions. Expand your frame. Reflect nightly. What triggered you? What story did you tell? Patterns appear. Awareness brings freedom. Mental hygiene, like brushing teeth, sustains clarity. No finish line exists. Storms arrive, but you remain steady. Imagine a young woman facing her first public speech. Panic rises. In the past, fear froze her. Now she pauses. This is anxiety. My body prepares me to rise. Trembling persists, yet she speaks with calm. The fear did not vanish. The relationship with it changed. Thoughts are weather. You are the sky. The storm passes, but the sky endures. Every emotion is raw material. Fear, anger, sadness, they are tools to shape your mind or chains that bind it. Repetition, reflection, pause. These are the instruments of freedom. Practice daily. Train like a craftsman. Guide thoughts like a sailor adjusts sails. Gradually, negativity loses power. Calm becomes fierce. Mastery is consistency, not sudden insight. Imagine life as a river. Storms pass, waves crash, yet you stand on the bank. Observe without drowning. Witness without clutching. The storm does not define you. The waves do not command you. You are the anchor. Freedom lies in the pause, in the space between stimulus and reaction. Daily, small choices accumulate. Slowly, deliberately, your mind transforms from adversary to ally. So here is the question you must answer. Will you continue to allow your thoughts to drive you into storms? Or will you take the helm and steer toward peace? Will you strike the wrong key, letting discord flood the room? Or will you guide your hands toward harmony, remembering that the calm was never absent, only forgotten? The path of a Stoic is not escaping emotion. It is mastering it, training it, observing it, naming it, choosing how to respond. Over time, through reflection, discipline, and patience, your mind becomes your greatest ally. You find clarity, resilience, and strength. You realize you are not your thoughts. You are the sky beyond the clouds, the steady presence amid storms. The journey begins here with one decision: to pause, to observe, to choose. Daily, intentionally, relentlessly. And with that choice, your life transforms from reactive to deliberate, from chaotic to anchored, from storm-tossed to steady.